Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Tom and this is Tom's Toys 95. I'm a part-time eBay reseller as well as a video game collector, and I like to document some of my eBay sales with you guys and show you the journey and the process as I go. Now, I used to make weekly videos and I do apologise for the lack of content on the eBay reselling over the last few months, but things have got in the way and I've been very busy, and the garage isn't in the state that I want it to be. I don't really like filming in here, it's very dark and dingy. However, my uncle did fit me a brand new light over the weekend, and hopefully the quality is a bit better in here. It's not so fuzzy or grainy. And over the weekend I made 15 sales, so I thought it was enough to make a video on it and show you what I sold, tell you a bit about the item, how much I paid for it, and ultimately how much it sold for. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So I'm going to read out the orders, I'm going to pick them, show you what they are, and then I'm going to wrap them and then I'll take them to the post office. Now, I used to go to like a brick and mortar post office and actually be served by a human, and unfortunately how society's gone now, everything's pretty much automated and we've got lock boxes. So I buy the labels on my phone, get the QR code, take it to a lockbox, scan it, put them in the post box and leave it there. So conveniently there's one not too far from my house, so it's only a short drive away, so I'm going to get all those wrapped and I'm probably going to drive over afterwards and get them posted tonight. But the first order is a Stranger Things strawberry lychee and the Mind Flare drinks. Now these were in B&M, they're like a gimmick, they were 69p each, and I sold two for £4.99 plus postage, so £8.99 all in, and those are in the drinks box which are right here. I just need to check which one they're in. I did buy 4 of each, so if I sell them all through it works out a decent bit of profit in total. The next one is a fairly cheap video game. It's on the PS3 and it's Skylander Giants, and it's the Solus. It's just the game, no figures or accessories. So I keep most of my games in this box down here. Found it. And the game is Skylander Giants on the PlayStation 3. It does have the manual. No, it doesn't, sorry, it doesn't come with the manual, so I only got £4 for that one. But this cost me like 50p in a bundle years ago. I've recently gone through the garage and pulled out a load of stock that's unlisted, and the last couple of weeks I've just been trying to list as much as possible, and this was one of them, so it literally owes me nothing. So that's gone for £4. The next one is an official Disneyland Paris Ratatouille Remy the Rat 8-inch plush, and that is right here in the plush box. So this one is from Disneyland Paris, as you can see on the apron. Comes with his hat, pretty cool one. It's not new with tags, but it is quite a rare plush, and that one sold for £11 and 10p plus postage. It works out £15 all in. I think he only cost me about £2, so £2 into 11, I'll take that all day long. The next sale is a Dead Island 2 figure. That is in the figure box, or the toy box. Conveniently it's on top, but in here it's just a load of random stuff. I do try to keep the garage somewhat organised, so all the plushies, for example, are in here, the shoes in that box, clothes down here, got some Xbox 360 video games in there, PS3 games in there, pop vinyls in there, and then mugs are in the top one. So I do hats, scarves, gloves, etc. are all in here, and there's books in there, so I do try and keep things as organised as possible. But this one, I think this was about £6 from the car boot. This is a bit of a fail. The woman that sold me this was a collector, and I bought a Mario figure and this, and I think the Mario figure cost me £8 and this cost me £6, and it's only sold for £8, but it has been listed for a very, very long time, and I found out that this came with a collector's edition of the game with multiple other things, so that's kind of why it wasn't worth as much as I thought it was originally. So I probably will just break even after fees on that one, but that one was £8 plus postage. The next one was a Sonic the Hedgehog Tails countdown statue. This is pretty cool. There's not a great ton of profit on this. I paid £40 for this from Game when it's closing down, but it was originally $79.99, and I bought this to either resell or to see if my friend wanted it, and he passed, so I've sold it on eBay and it's gone for $59.99, so £20 profit minus fees. And by countdown, I think it's like an advent calendar, and it creates a Sonic Tails statue, and there's 24 pieces, and presumably you build a piece a day, and then it's Christmas. That's going to be quite big and bulky to post. I need to try and find a box big enough, but it's still sealed and brand new, and as I said, cost me £40, sold it for £60 plus postage on top as well, which was £6.50, which should cover it, so that's fine. The next sale then is a PlayStation Vita game, and that is Rugby World Cup 2015. That is right in front of me. So this one's still sealed, and I believe it's French. I picked this up from a gaming market for £6, and that has sold for £12.99. So I know from collecting the Vita myself, as I'm going for a full PAL set, these can be quite expensive, and this particular game is worth about 12-15 quid. So sealed is good, but French bad. So £12.99 is a fairly good price for that. The next one is some Fisher Price Imaginext Space Astronaut figures. So this was from a bundle of figures for a tenner, and I believe they worked out 20p each, and those are sold for £5.99 plus postage. And these are in this box here. Just got to try and find them. So this is my figures box, and it's got a load of random stuff in it. Now, the good question is, where the hell are these astronauts? They could be anywhere.
One eternity later.
Right, I think I found them, and there's also another sale which has sold, which was in the box, which I've got out as well, which I'll show you in a moment. But these are the figures, both the same. I think one's ginger, one's got brown hair, but otherwise they are exactly the same figure. And those went for £5.99, 40p into £5.99. And actually it's in the very next sale, but the next sale is Frozen 2, a bunch of 7 mystery minis from Funko. And there are 7 in total, I believe, and that's gone for £12.50. I paid £10 for a massive Frozen bundle. In it came a few play sets, loads of figures, and some were decent, some of them like the Disney store, and then these pop vinyl figures. And then what was left over was a bunch of like 50 little figures that were either broken or just random unbranded Frozen figures. So I bunched all those together, and I ended up getting like 20 quid for that. I think I've sold another thing for like 20 or 30, and then a few little bits have gone for like £5 to £10. So I'm well into profit on that bundle. So this owes me nothing now, and that has gone for £12.50, and they are here. Got a bunch of random figures from Frozen. They're all pop vinyls, and there's one with the broken arm which I think I threw in for free, so there's actually 8. But yeah, £12.50, I'll take that. The next one is a coin. So this is from my personal collection, and I decided over the summer, while I've sort of stopped making videos, I needed to make some money and downsize, and one of the things that I wanted to target was my coin collection. I used to collect coins when I was younger. I don't handle money anymore in my job. I don't see it anymore really, except car boots. So I've kind of gone off collecting them, if sort of out of sight, out of mind, I guess. So I decided to pass them on, and I've listed quite a lot of them. And this is an overseas coin, so this isn't a UK sort of English coin technically. It's an Isle of Man £2, and I will go grab that now. But that one has gone for £10.99. So similar to the figures, I've also sold another set of coins as well, so I'm going to grab those while I'm here, and I'll skip up the sales list. And these are a set of 4, so £1 coins. Now all the coins I paid only face value. I refused to pay any more than face value, so these were ones I found myself at my old job, and I swapped them at the end of my shift. So those were £4 and £2, so £6 those both cost me, and one's gone for 12 and the other has gone for 11. So £23 from 6, can't argue with that, that's great. They are both overseas as well, so one is from Gibraltar and the other is Isle of Man. I've skewed these so all of these have numbers on, so I know which coin's which. And I'm looking for number 18 and 30. So the £18 ones, these are Neanderthal skulls. I don't know how well you'll see that on camera, but there's different years on these, so I put them as a set of 4. I usually post these, I get like a thin piece of cardboard either side, place them out, put a little bit of like sellotape or something on there, just so they don't rattle around in the envelope, because usually when I used to post coins back in the day, I didn't protect them well enough, and people would just open the envelopes, or the postman would steal them, or the sorting office would steal them, and I'd always get a claim to say that they hadn't turned up, or that the envelope was empty. So I don't risk it anymore. Since I've been doing it this way, I've had no complaints. And then the £10.99 one is in this bag, which is number 30. And again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this on camera, sorry, but this is the Tower Peel Castle, which has a really cool design on that one. So the next one is a bunch of four Fall Guys figures. This is a bit of a fail. These were £3.33 from Tesco in a clearance. They were something like £10 or £12 each. So £3.33 seems like a no-brainer, 75% off. And I managed to get a set of 4, and they just haven't sold. They've been crap. And they have gone for £20 plus postage. So after fees, I'm only really breaking even on these ones. I've got these out ready though because my laptop is on the box that I need to go in. But we've got Topsy, which is the dinosaur one. Then we've got Fairycorn, which is a unicorn. Then we've got Paladin, which is like some warrior. And then we've got the astronaut, which has a football as well. Fall Guys was, I guess, a bit of a fad. It came out, everyone loved it, and the figures came out, and then they stopped playing it. And ironically, Stumble Guys, which I think is a copy of Fall Guys, seems to be more popular, especially with the toys as well. So that was a bit of a fail on that one. The next one is a pair of Supreme trainers, which I bought from the car boot for 30 quid. Initially, I thought I'd done well on this sale. It was only until I got home I realised that the trainers were damaged and the seller didn't tell me. So it always pays to check condition thoroughly before you buy it. I checked that the product was real and put the code in, and it came back as genuine. But unfortunately, I think the sole had like come loose, and the previous owner had re-glued them. So that dramatically decreased the value. And they've been listed for a while, and someone sent me an offer, and I just thought it's a bit of profit, more than I paid for it, so I might as well let it go. That is in the shoebox, so I'm just going to find that now. Now, I am slightly concerned with this sale because these are going to go with the eBay verified shoe program. It's probably not called that, but you basically get a free label from eBay, you send it off to somebody, they authenticate it, they'll check the item over, and then they'll send it to the person once they've authenticated that they're genuine. Now, the only issue is I've marked these as used good, and there's very good, I think there's excellent, and then there's obviously new, and new with box, which obviously they're not. Now, I put these as good, which the overall condition is good, but I've marked down in the description all of the flaws, that there's a hole in there, so it's worn at the back. And one of them, I don't think it's this shoe, it might be this one, somewhere you can see that the sole has been like re-glued back on. So that could be an issue with eBay. When they authenticate it, they might pick up on that. I don't know, but we will see. But I've been very honest in the listing. The buyer knows that there's an issue, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens when it comes back. But these are the shoes. They are a pair of Nike Air Max Supreme ones. They've got this really nice iridescent sort of glare on them, and they are black and blue in colour. So let's see how those go. And I've sold them for 50. They were up for 70. The guy was a bit cheeky because he said, I sent him an offer for 60, and he said, would you do 60 all in? So I was expecting like £56 plus a bit of postage, and turns out the postage is £9 because it's going through the eBay Authenticator program. So he sent me an offer for 50 instead of 51, but it is what it is. So I'll take that. And there's 4 sales left. So the next one is a toy, which won't be in the toy box, I don't think. It should be in one of these boxes, and I'll show you that when I find it. Right, so the figure in question is this Mr. Blobby figure. Now, this was £5 from a car boot. Some bloke said he had loads of these, and he took them to a toy convention, and he said that Noel Edmonds, who was the Mr. Blobby show host, apparently his wife bought a load of them, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, these are clip-on figures. They're original from 1990 something, 1992. And that has gone for, I believe, £12.99 plus postage. Yeah, so £16.99 all in on that one, and I paid a £5 for it. It is a pretty cool figure. Had it listed for like 15, but took an offer. And then next we've got a PlayStation 3 box. This is literally just an empty box. There's barely anything to it other than a bit of the cardboard inside. Some of it's missing, and there's some manuals as well, but all of the stuff is not in there. There's literally just some contents, and that is it. and that went for surprisingly quite a lot of money. So it doesn't owe me much. I think it came with a bundle of PlayStation games and stuff that I bought a while ago, and I would have probably only paid about £60 to £80 for the bundle with the PS3 and some games. Sold the PS3, kept the box, and I decided to pass the box on, and just the parts alone got £29.99, so really happy with that. So this is the box, and it's literally just the box and a cardboard piece inside, and then a few bit of paperwork as well. So like I said, there's really nothing to it, but I'm really happy with the price. Obviously, if someone is collecting the PS3 or they have a loose copy with all the bits but not the box, then they can piece it together and get a complete copy. So fair enough to them. There's a little bit of damage on the top there, but otherwise really nice condition. The next one is a Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Charizard Y figure. So I pre-ordered the game and the figure was like free. I think I paid for the Champions Edition, and it was actually £20 upgrade, so I tell a lie. So this figure owes me £3.33. There were 6 bonus items and it was 20 quid extra. So £3.33 for this figure, and it's gone for £20. So I was very happy with that. So this is the Y Charizard, which is just a standard orange one. The X is the blue one. £3.33 into 20 quid. I am happy with that. The next one, and actually the last one, is a bunch of Bakugan Spin Master toy figures. There's 8 in total. So I think if there's 8 of them, they cost me £2.50 each from the entertainer, and they've gone for £39.99. So I paid 20 and double my money. They are in here somewhere. So these are the figures, and they look a little bit like this. They're all different characters and colours, and there's 8 of them. So not too bad on those ones. And that should be all 15 sales. The football is on. I've missed most of the first half because I've been making this bloody video. So I'm going to wrap and watch the rest of the football, and then I'm going to try and post them afterwards. And I'll get a bit of footage of the lot box as well and me posting them. But there's quite a lot to post tonight, so I may not get all of them done tonight. I'll have to do them tomorrow. It is now the following morning, and I'm going to the Royal Mail parcel drop-off box. So first thing you want to do is click send parcel. You scan your QR code on your phone and it will print out a label. Once the label is printed out, you want to scan that label and attach it to your parcel. You'll put in your email address, which is optional, but I like to put mine in just because it sends you a receipt. And then from there, you will select your size and a random door will open. Once that door's open, pop your parcel inside and you can close the locker, and then you just click confirm on the screen, and that is all done. So I posted my Royal Mail parcels before work. I've just got back home from work and it's time to post the every orders, and these are all of the big bulky orders from yesterday. So there's a few boxes here, and then all of these are small parcels under 1 kilogram. So there's quite a lot, and unfortunately I have to go into a shop with 1 till, so I'm probably going to hold up the queue, but it is what it is. So while I've been at work today, a few items have sold, and one of them is worth 190 quid. So I'm going to go into the garage and show you that. I'm probably going to post those tomorrow, but I'll show you those sales nonetheless and get those posted afterwards. So this is the £189 sale. This has gone to somebody via GSP, and there's 75 Xbox games in here. Most of them have the manuals. There are some discs in there that will be scratched, and I did put that in the description. I'm hoping because it's going GSP, they've read the description, because the last thing I need is a return on something this heavy, especially if it's going abroad. But it works out just over £2 a game. As I said, there's 75 in here, 190 quid. There's a couple of rarer titles in there, like this one, for example, goes for like £8 to £10. And then there's also a lot of cheaper ones. So I kind of worked it out as like a £2 to £3 a game, really. There was nothing really worth selling individually, but we've got a bunch of good titles in there, and I need to try and find a box big enough to get all these protected properly, really, so they don't get battered in the post. All of those games are just lying in my garage. I bought a big bundle off my friend probably about 18 months ago and never really looked through it. A couple of months later I picked up a big Xbox 360 bundle before Christmas last year, and it was actually someone that worked at Audi, so I met them in the Audi car park. And between the two bundles there was a load of games and 2 or 3 Xboxes and some controllers, and I was too lazy to sort through them, test them and list them, so I decided to dump them all in a box, and then that's when I decided to get them out the garage last week and list them, and they've literally sold within about 6-7 days, so I'm pleased that they've gone so quickly, but it's just going to be a pain now to get them all wrapped up, but I'll do that nonetheless. I'm probably not going to post it tonight, I might post that tomorrow now. And on that note, I'm going to end the video there. I've got 2 more sales. It was just a Pokemon colouring book. There's 2 of them I bought new from Tesco. I think they were like 50p each in the clearance, and they've gone for £11.99, so that only cost me £1. And then there's a watch strap from the watch bundle, which I got a few years ago, and that owes me £1, and that's gone for £11.45, I believe. So I might grab those and post them as well. If not, I'll do those tomorrow with the games. But I've got to post all of those other parcels now, so I'm going to go and do that, and then I might jump on some Battlefield with my mate. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. As I said at the start of the video, apologies for leaving it so long before making a video on the garage and eBay stuff, but it has been a while, but I have enjoyed it. I don't know when the next video is going to be, but we will see. Hopefully regular occurrence. Once the garage is tidy and in a fit state, then I will be back making regular weekly videos, but I think for the time being I'm just going to do them as and when, and I figured since I had a pretty decent weekend and made some good sales, why not show it off for you guys and do a video on it, since I haven't for a while. So thank you very much for watching, appreciate the support, please like and hype the video, etc., and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.